As most people are well aware, we have a runoff election coming to the state of Georgia in January where both Senate seats for the U.S. Senate are up for grabs. Both are currently held by Republican incumbents, one by Republican David Perdue, the other by Republican Kelly Leffler. And now, as of this week, both of them have found themselves embroiled in stock scandals just this year. Kelly Loeffler's was earlier this year. David Perdue's is the one that emerged this year. And here's what happened. David Perdue last year was put in charge of the Senate Armed Services Subcommittee on Sea Power. Now, that kind of seems like a very niche, okay, what, he's subcommittee on Navy Sea Power. Well, basically what this subcommittee does is you get to determine what kind of ships we buy. That's actually a pretty powerful committee. They spend a lot of money. But right before David Perdue got put as the chairman of this committee, about a month before, according to reports, he decided to buy $190,000 worth of stock in a company called BWX Technologies, which is a company he had never invested in before, but they develop components for the Navy ships. So he knows he's getting this appointment. Before he goes in there, he buys $190,000 worth of stock in one company. Then he goes there. As one of his first orders of business, he starts working on legislation with his fellow Republicans and Democrats, both on the subcommittee and the corresponding committee in the House of Representatives. They came up with a big new bill that directed millions and millions of dollars towards BWX Technologies. So David Perdue, knowing that he had all this stock in here, wrote a specific piece of legislation that directly benefited the company of which he was holding the stock. That's fairly simple, right? This is lining your pockets. This man used his office, used his power, used his authority to put more money in his own pockets because, yes, after he gave them this contract, their stock went up, which means David Perdue's stock went up. Leffler, on the other hand, has already been let off the hook. They've already announced they're not going to investigate her for insider trading. Because, see, here's what happened with Loeffler, in case you weren't paying attention earlier this year. Right before anybody in the United States even knew how bad the pandemic would be, the Senate had a meeting, closed-door meeting, public's not allowed to know, but they were told how horrible things are going to be. How bad it was going to be, the potential of sending people to work from home for months and months. They knew all of that before any of us even did. Loeffler leaves the meeting, sells a bunch of her stock that she knows is going to tank. It's stock in like hotels and whatnot. A couple other Republicans did too, and a couple Democrats. So things like that, things that she knew was going to tank, and instead purchased stock in companies that she knew would benefit from people working at home. Then her husband, Jeff Sprecher, the chairman of the New York Stock Exchange and the founder, president, and CEO of the Intercontinental Exchange, he did the same thing. But Loeffler was able to convince the morons at the FBI that, oh, that's just a coincidence. I didn't do that. My husband didn't do that. No. Y'all are being silly gooses. We have other people that handle our stocks. We don't even do that. And the FBI said, oh, okay, have a great day. We'll see you later. Loeffler should already be in jail. Her husband, Jeff Sprecher, should already be in jail. And David Perdue should be hiring lawyers so that he doesn't end up going to jail for his stock scandal. But here's the bottom line. Here's the silver lining, the light at the end of the tunnel, and that is that Georgia voters have the opportunity to get these two swindlers out of office in just 2 months. That's it. Y'all can do this. You have the numbers. You just proved it by turning the state blue. Get rid of these crooks. Get rid of them. Because if you don't, you are going to be stuck with years upon years upon years of these two individuals taking advantage of you, lining their own pockets, and screwing American voters every chance they get. You can stop it right now. And I encourage each and every one of you, for the sake of the rest of the country, to get on that.